It's Susan. Welcome to another show today. This is fabulous. I'm happy to have you all with me. Hello, hello. So I have the highest speed internet here in New York, and it just wasn't working a couple of minutes ago. So I hope everything goes well for us. Welcome, Susan Winter here, best-selling author, relationship expert, and all my fabulous people that I can already see are online. Today is the last in our series of bad behavior. Not to worry, I'm going to be back next week. We're starting a whole new segment, Love Advice, and it's going to be a little bit more like me answering your video requests. So today we are concluding with yet again another Susan term, backpedaling. I began using this in writing around 2000, 2001. And welcome everybody, backpedaling. I want to give you my definition and how I use it and how I would differentiate that from what I call the slow fade. So I will quickly give a shout out before we go into the description of everything. Debbie E. Lucy, Terry. Hey, I'm in New York. Yes, I am. When you see pale gray background, I'm in New York. Okay, Zen Maiden, adore you. Cookie Cute Girl, Reham, how are you doing? Oh, I love the little cha-cha-cha. Zen Maiden, we just think you're the best. Congratulations again on your marriage. Caroline, Buck Tape, Erica, Cole, hi everyone. Polaris, Polaris says, hi Susan, I finally caught you live. This is Amanda from Brazil. I'm a big fan. Ken, Kit, Taji Girl, said it, Space Cadet, Kelly, hi everyone. All right, so let's go straight into a definition of what is backpedaling. Now, I want to differentiate backpedaling from a slow fade. Backpedaling is the systematic downgrading of services, right? Like if you ever had to call the cable company and you're like, I'm cutting cable. Don't want that. Want my internet, don't want my cable. And they fight you and fight you and fight you. Okay, so that's what this is. It can also be that they are combining backpedaling first and that phase 2 will be the slow fade. But they are trying to renegotiate the terms of service with you. So what would be the signs of a backpedaling partner? This is somebody who begins to not call you as frequently. And these are what we call, these are, you know, the kind of the signs that we get, the red flags. Like it's what I call a break in the pattern. So if there has been a pattern of attention that you had a text message every morning, you stop getting these. So you start to notice a disconnect. You can feel them pulling away, but they don't leave you. They don't actually tell you it's over. And the distinction is that where you had future plans, they postpone them. They don't cancel them, they postpone. And it's just that you feel that wherever you came to in this agreement for whatever kind of relationship and partnership you have, you were both on the same page and you came to a certain point. Now you start to feel that they want to downgrade or diminish whatever terms of service you have for this relationship. Okay, so that's what backpedaling is. I want you to understand that it's a little bit like stalling. Okay, you will find them stalling. They may break some dates. They won't leave you. Okay, they'll see you. It continues on. But you want more and they want less. And so there's less communication, things like that. So we look at these indicators as, uh-oh, something's going on. Okay, so these are our red flags. When we get a partner who's backpedaling, we have to quite sadly recognize that wherever we thought we were, they are not holding the same ground. They are pulling back further. Now, they may want the relationship. They may want to have a reconfiguration. Okay, so they may ask if you want to have a conversation and are you open to renegotiating the terms of the relationship. They may have general fear. Sometimes backpedaling is a sense of regrouping where they're trying to figure out how much, maybe they moved too quickly, too fast, too soon. Doesn't always mean it's over. Okay, sometimes it does. But I just want you to understand what this is and then what creates it. people get in over their head. They leap before they think. They make promises in bed they're not going to keep 2 weeks from now. This is the fickle nature of love, and this is why we're having these communications. So I'm going to start talking to all of you because I see that the chat is going on and on and on. Oh my goodness, UG says, hang on. Hi, Susan Umberto. Here, super topic. Exactly this happened to me. Listen to her. Okay. So, hi from Greece. Anybody else going through backpedaling right now? Okay. My almost ex is the backpedaling guru. He's a pretty good cyclist too. I should have known. Okay. So you say soon to be ex. You might notice with a backpedaler, they're not really cutting it off right away. This gets very confusing. You are left with, okay, do I stay? Do I go? Do I try to have a conversation? Are they open to a conversation? Is it good to pretend it didn't happen? Maybe they'll get over it, give them a week, kind of back off, give them some space. Maybe they'll feel better. So oftentimes you don't know how to play this segment, right? So let me read what you're talking about. And again, after the half-hour mark, I'll go into general topics. If you want to do super chat, I'll definitely see it. So let me read some of these here. Elijah says, love one another truly and be happy, never cheat, only only cheat, only for sex or money. Okay, that's one philosophy. All right, let's see. Backpedaling sounds like friends with benefits. You need to establish the type of relationship. Not exactly. Well, you could have a partner that was in a romantic relationship with you where you had negotiated exclusivity, and now they've decided that they want to downgrade to a smaller plan, and they actually want a friends with benefits. Again, you have to see in your wisdom, are these just words? Are these words to make them feel good? Are they afraid? Are they frightened? Did they move too quickly? Are we actually in a real relationship and this is just going to give them some kind of mental balm where they will feel safe, secure, whatever, like they're in control? Or are they actually trying to dial me back until I'm almost out of the picture? Are they trying to eliminate my oxygen to the point that I will leave voluntarily? So you have to know your partner and you have to know what's going on. Let's see, Kit. Hang on, where did Kit go? Oh, boy. Oh my God, you guys, there's so many. Okay, Kit, boy, this is coming fast. I love it when you guys are all talking. Kit Stanwood, I'm at the point where I don't fall in love over text and don't care about them until they've asked to be a girlfriend. Haha, maybe I'm jaded. Keep the options open, lady. Many more options. All right, let's talk about backpedaling. I've just watched all my plans, our whole future, silently dissolve when I miscarried the first child. I had ever been pregnant with he just disappeared physically. That is very tragic, and I'm really, really sorry about that. My goodness. You know, it's such I don't think men understand what that is for a woman, the connection that's created. It's very tragic, and I do know that there are certain partners that don't want to go through this experience. Again, for whatever reason, you have gotten into emotional territory that is not something they want. Better you know now, all right? Because this is the person who would leave you anyway, holding the bag with all sorts of chaos and challenges, and not show up for you. All right, let's see what you all have to say here. Hello from New Delhi. Let's see. Thank you for what you do. Hi, Kyle. Thank you. Yes, it's a stalemate smorgasbord. Polaris, very well said. So again, they're not dumping you. They're just kind of putting you on hold or downgrading you. My significant other does this weekly. Oh my goodness, Bojo says. We spend the weekends together and they're magical. And then during the week, the communication is gone until the following weekend. Been like this for 4 months. Okay, so what have you done about it? I know you're telling me, and I know you're telling us. Have you had a chance to talk to your partner about this? Is there a reason? Now, I'm playing devil's advocate because I don't know what's going on here. Some people, according to the kind of work they do, treat relationships in a compartmentalized way. I'm giving your mate a benefit of a doubt here. They treat relationships in a compartmentalized way so that they flip a switch. So weekend, relaxation. I'm on duty to see you. All good. I'm totally present. Monday comes, boom, I'm on duty for work. Work, 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 work. Weekend, on duty for you. If it's that, and you really think that's all it is, work, 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 available for you, it's not ideal for you, obviously. It would be ideal for some people who also want the same lifestyle. So the question is, from Monday to Friday, what else is going on? Is it really work? If it's all work, it's part of the lifestyle. You're getting the best of what they have. You're probably getting 3 days, all right? So that might be okay. But if you're not getting that and you feel that other people are getting your time, you may even wonder if somebody's getting a date in between, then that's something to watch out for. But either way, you get the weekend spot. That's kind of the prime event, right? So I'd have to ask you some more questions about that. But the fact that you don't like it, you may want to speak up and ask if you can at least have a dinner together on a Wednesday. Maybe you can meet them for lunch. I'm not sure if people are working virtually or in offices in your situation, but that's another way to look at it. Okay. Some of these are taken out. You guys, some of these are hidden. I don't think this is bad. I'm going to show it because she just put a picture of a duck in here. So somehow the filters caught this. Emma Kate says, yes, he backpedaled. He told me he didn't know what he wanted, so I sent him home to figure it out. Then told him I don't want to be with someone who isn't 100% sure he wants to be with me. Okay, you have resolution. And that is often my suggestion. Okay, so I remember I had a story about a girlfriend who was dating. This is early on. I wasn't doing this work, you guys. I was testing it on myself before I ever took it on the road. And all she wanted from this guy was a Saturday night date. And we were up at Greenwich for Greenwich Polo, which was really fun. I used to take my dog up in the car up on the West Side Highway. My doggie would eat roast beef. My friends would drink alcohol. We had a good time. I'd watch them. I'd drive back. It was a lot of fun. And she was dating this guy, and she wanted to get closer, and he wouldn't really give her the space. She kind of knew he was backpedaling. She really felt it. And so I had her call him, and I said, I want you to thank him. You proactive, this. He wasn't just backpedaling. He was actually slow fading, okay? But what she did is I wanted her to feel empowered. So I said, I want you to call him, and I want you to thank him. That'll throw him off his game altogether. Then you tell him what you would have never experienced had it not been for him. She told me honestly, I had the ability to communicate honestly. And she said, I just know he's not going where I'm going, and I don't want that. And I said, okay, so you thank him for that. You thank him for showing you that you can have that in a relationship, and you wish him well. I knew what was going to happen. I knew he wasn't going to answer. This isn't the day when people actually left voice messages and listened to them, right? And he called her back within 30 seconds and offered her that Saturday night date. Now, don't get all excited. It wasn't going to work out. It wasn't going to work out anyway. She's happily engaged, and she's fine now. However, sometimes you have to call it. And this is what we're going to be discussing. Some of you are just going to say, I'm not going through this. I can sense the downgrade, and I don't want to go through this. What I want from you is this, and you're giving me this. And that's not sufficient. Do talk to them, find out why. And if you have to leave, you have to leave. If you have to set a boundary and you don't want it downgraded, and you actually know that they have no intention of ever bringing it back to where it was, or they have no intention of taking it where you want to go, then you need resolution. And at that point, resolution is more important than your ego. I think a clear frame of mind where you can just clear the boards, like, okay, that didn't work out, done. On to the next, is so much better than just toiling and waiting and hoping and praying, right? Okay, so we have a super chat here, 200. My goodness. Thank you, thank you. Chitran, hi. You have communicated with me before. Thank you for this. My 9-month girlfriend is still initiating most contact in our long-distance relationship. Good. But slowly being less and less affectionate. She has a fear of abandonment and is also talking to her ex. She talks about the future, confused. Okay, I have a quick remedy for you. You're in a long distance relationship, makes everybody more nervous about what they've got. If you love her, if you care for her, if you want to drive this forward, I'm going to ask you to pick up your pace and pay attention to this woman. If she's backing off, she may feel that you're distancing from her. She may feel that she's not getting the attention from you that she wants. Now, again, I'm looking at the screen. There could be 5 things you say. You could say, I speak to her 5 times a day and she doesn't answer the phone. That's a different story. But in a case like this, my normal default is not what you guys expect. I actually try to apply love first. Try to apply appreciation. Try to apply direct communication. Try to show interest. There is a very good case, oftentimes, when people bail, they do it because they are terrified that they are getting the short end of the stick. People will oftentimes leave a relationship they actually want to stay in. And they do it because they're afraid that you're pulling back from them. It is what I call the distancing dance. So I would ask you to do me a favor. We have a couple weeks. You come back every week. I want you to do an experiment. Starting now, when you get off this chat with all of us, I'd like you to start sending her messages of appreciation. I was thinking about you. Can't wait to see you. I don't know if you're in lockdown where you're writing me or what's going on as far as being able to see each other, because I know that's a problem. Not only has COVID created an inability to get to meet in real life, but also many borders are closed. So in long distance in Europe, this could be a problem, okay? But try to show interest, give her security and safety, and see if she, sometimes it's as simple as that. They don't need to keep talking to their ex for reassurance that there's something special, okay? Thank you for this. I really appreciate this. Okay, let's see. Let's go on here. All right. Love from India. Thank you. Yes, backpedaling. Then the cowardly slow fade. Normally, yes, that's correct. Ken says, I tried having a conversation and several because I wasn't feeling that my needs were being met. Okay. Said, I think it's not working. Goodbye. And he was like, I'm not accepting this. Oh, okay. Counter offer. Ken, good. Now, it's one thing to say you're not accepting it. It's another thing to say, well, what are you going to do about it? Meaning, if you don't want to accept it, then can you up your game so that I have a reason to stay? Did he give you a counteroffer? Did he give you more of what you want? This is great. He's not accepting it. All right. That's very good. I want to hear the second part of that. You guys now you've really spiked my curiosity because I want to know what's going on with the second part of this. Anything going back is definitely a red flag. Yes, Patricia, that's correct. Okay, let's see what we have here. Do messages of appreciation work for a man that is pulled away from a woman, Elizabeth? I think messages of appreciation are a very good first step for a man, for a woman, for anything, that if you are uncertain, you have to realize I'm reading one sentence. There's so many things I cannot see, but sometimes when things go south, it is just because somebody feels unappreciated, undesirable, that you don't know what irritates people, and they're not going to always tell you, right? People aren't always communicative. They get hurt, and then they don't want to let you know that they were vulnerable to being hurt. It is a good first step just to clear the boards, as in, okay, well, then it's not on me. I am attentive, and I did do this. Now it's a situation that we have to talk about. Okay, so I suggest it as a first step in most cases. Let's see. Kath Joy says, if the man does not love you and plays mind games, walk away. Absolutely. No reason to stay in it. You guys are talking to each other. Rohit says, my ex says she has got trust issues in herself. Hang on. Wait a minute. Hang on. My ex says she has got trust issues in herself after cheating on me. What? She's got issues after she cheated on you and isn't ready to commit and asks me to keep no expectations as she doesn't want a burden of hooking me. Currently, we can't meet in person. Is this who you're talking about? What? Why would you stay in this? This is crazy. What are you doing? Oh, there's this really bad investment. I'm thinking of putting all my money into it. Got zero dividends. It's tanking all the time. It's probably a company that's going under. It's corrupt. There's no product. There's no service. I think I'll invest my money there. That sounds like a good deal. Look at what you're writing. You have to read what you've just written. That's the story. Okay? This is very, very different. Okay, everyone. There we go. That's the description. Tally girl, if you want to, okay, she says, Terry Pearson says, if you want Susan to acknowledge you, put it in super chat. That for sure I see. I'm reading so many of these as I go along, but I won't always see all of these. Lisi, my boyfriend left me and he says he can't tell what will happen in the future, meaning we could reconnect or not. I want us together. I don't know what to do. He says he loves me. Should I wait? All right. The first sentence, my first answer is if somebody leaves you and they say they don't know what they want, okay, that they can't tell you what's going to happen in the future, I say walk, okay? Now you're telling me that he says he loves me, but he can't tell you what's going to happen in the future. So there is obviously a bigger issue at hand here. What is the real issue? I mean, if somebody loves you and they pull away from you and they tell you they don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I love you, you've got major things in conflict here. So is there a money concern? Is it that you want different things? Do you live a different lifestyle? Does he come home at 4 in the morning and you're getting up at 5? What is happening that is the disagreement? What is bothering him in his personal life that he thinks he can't move forward? You know, sometimes people actually stop themselves from having a relationship because they think they can't because of something in their life. I'm not employed the way I want to be employed. I don't know what city I'm going to be living in. And they allow these things to severely impact their relationship. And so just to clear their mind, they take one more thing off the table. So I'd need a secondary conversation about that. I'd want to know if he loves you, why isn't he willing to negotiate something that is workable for him? So that's where I would start. You won't know whether to stay or go until you go into negotiation. Say, okay, you love me. I love you. I want to have something here. Let's talk about what is possible. Everything. Function, what it looks like day-to-day life, what we call it, what we do together, how often we see each other, how does it look, feel, and function in the real world? Let's hammer that out. You tell me what you're capable of, and I'll let you know if that's something I'm going to wait around for, okay, if that's going to work for me. All right, Super Chat, $5. Hello, Pluto. Thank you very much for your $5. I really appreciate that. My partner may be backpedaling because our relationship is getting too real. Oh, that's rich. I think they may be anxious about us. I'm scared. I've somehow scared them away. All right. So I'm guessing, are you at like the 6-month mark? Have you gone through some crisis together where you are actually, you know, you're past the honeymoon phase, I would imagine, Pluto. So if the relationship is getting too real, you're bumping up against a couple of things. One, you have to answer for yourself. Does this person have a skill set to be in a relationship? Are they able to be consistent? Can they be honest with me? Do they tell me what they really think and feel? And are their actions in alignment with those things? Is there a secret part of their life that they're hiding from me that I don't know about? Are they fearful of something? And if they're fearful, can they tell me? Because if it's getting real, it means you're starting to see who each other are. And instead of the, oh, it's so wonderful, now you're getting to the nitty gritty of like, sometimes my partner has bad breath. Sometimes I look at my partner and I think, ugh, why did I choose you? You know, you look, bad day. You're grumpy. I don't like your mood today. So now that it's getting real, I would tell your partner, if you want to stay in this, we're only now getting to see what we really needed to see. You know, the first part, the honeymoon period, that's the bait. That gets all of us in the door. Do you think we'd enter a relationship without those crazy hopes and dreams, without futurizing, without all that? We wouldn't. If we went straight to what's real, we'd be going, oh God, this isn't that exciting. It's like we almost need to be drugged by all those hormones in our system and all those biochemical reactions to make us silly enough to enter relationships to then weather the storm, because we've had this beautiful vision of what it can be. So try to give them some comfort. The best thing you can do when somebody's scared, be the confident one. Be the stable, grounded, consistent one. Because flighty people are looking for somebody to ground them. It's like being terrified. You're looking for, I remember, okay, I was in Aruba, okay, and I went in one of these submarine things, and if any of you have been there, you know what I'm talking about. I've always known I've had a little claustrophobia, but I went down in this thing, and I'm with these people on a cruise, right? And you can't get out, and they're all having a good time, and I am having a panic attack, and I can't breathe, and I am trying to be cool, but I am just freaking out, and I'm scrambling to get out and get up because it's kicking up something inside me, right? And I'm starting to freak out other people, which is making somebody like me, who's very aware of what other people are feeling, it's making me feel even worse. So it's making me, and there was a nurse on board, and she grounded me. I was still nervous. I was still having a panic attack, but she made me look her in the eyes. She made me breathe with her. She made me focus. She grounded me. Now, I was still feeling terrified, but I made it through the trip, and I didn't have to stop. But I was so embarrassed. I mean, all these people are having a great time. Oh, look at the fish. And I'm like, I gotta go. I was trying to crawl out. So I think it happened because when I was in college, I went to school in Indiana, and they have these, they told me we were going spelunking. So I had images of those pictures that you see in the big cave, and they're walking and looking at things. These were rain holes. I didn't know this. They get flooded like a flash flood and people die. I'm in there crawling on my stomach in a tube like this, right? It might have been, it could have been a sewer pipe. And I'm behind people. I can't move forward. I can't move backwards. And my heart starts to go, right? So sometimes you have to think of a person when it's getting real for them. This is what it feels like. So I would suggest you start by being the calm, stable person, and let them know I shoot it differently. Real is kind of cool. Real is pretty amazing, you know, actually. Real's where we get to have the real fun and experience the real emotions. I hope that works for you. So thank you, Pluto, for that. Let's see. Okay, we've had a lot of these in here. You would only freak out. Social types. Let's see. Okay, Zen Maiden, you're talking to people. I'm glad about that. She's such a lovely person. Okay. Kylie, can you explain the goals of game playing even when no one wins? That has to be one of the best comments I've ever heard, because what a great analysis of a ridiculous, a cluster, right? Backpedaling is a game when you cannot be into yourself enough to let me know if you're into me. It's a game. No. Well, sometimes it's a readjustment. It might be a game. It might be a readjustment. I want to remind all of you, games happen because people don't have the knowledge or the courage to tell you the truth. They are not self-actualized. They don't know what you know. You're playing with people that don't have the skill set you do. Look, you're on stations like this. You're trying to learn. You are trying to learn how to be an effective communicator. You are trying to learn how to be a great partner. So you get together with somebody that's hot, they look good, you think they're cute, they seem to have the same interests you do, it's great in bed, it all looks good, you're having fun. Then something happens. And they don't have a skill set to handle it. So what do? They try to leave. Don't know what to do. This thing happened, so I guess I'll leave rather than deal with it, right? So at the very point that they could improve themselves and learn to be a better partner, they don't. At the very point, so not all game playing is like, oh man, I'm going to play a game. You have to understand, this is not malicious. Lots of times, people who play a game are listening to what their friends say. Do you know how many people have called me and they'll say, so this and this and this and this happened, and my friend said go no contact. I'm like, you guys hardly had contact and you want to be closer, and somebody advised no contact? You think that's going to make the distance less? So there's erroneous information out there. There are people that your well-meaning friends are telling you the wrong things. There are people who are scared and they default to some covert move that looks like they're not scared. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm afraid to proceed ahead, so I'll just pull back. True. On the other side of the coin, it could be somebody that their game is over. They've explored you. That's it. I'm done. Had a little roll in the hay. Had a couple dates. Don't want to go any further. And they don't have the courage to tell you. So those are the two distinctions. But we always have to question first, is it the case that somebody doesn't have another option because they don't have the skills I do? That's where you guys take control, you take your power back, and you call this thing out and you say, hey, what's going on here? I like you, just so you know. And I'm seeing this thing like we're seeing each other less and less. What should we do about that? And, re-engage them, okay? Because you have a voice. It is your relationship too. You get to do what you want. You can always leave. Everyone. You always, I say you have that card in your back pocket. You can always leave. This is not a difficult card to pull. But when you leave, make sure you can leave with ease. And leaving with ease is best done when you know that you have left no stones unturned, that you have actually said what you needed to say, presented the information of why you're not happy, given them an option to make you happy, told them what you want and need, worked with them, actually tried to negotiate what's going to work for both of you. And then if nothing works, okay, that's it. All right? I hope that answers your question. Let's see. All right, we are going to hide this person. Okay, hang on just a minute. Let's see. Okay, David says, hi, Susan, I love your videos and your mind. Thank you, David, I like that. Thanks for helping me understand what has happened to me. I was dumped and ghosted. Never thought this would happen in my 50s. Wow. People are learning some very bad behaviors from the hookup culture. And millennials, I love you. You are my target demographic. You know that, right? But the bad behavior that has come out of the lack of communication is astounding to me. So anybody can be ghosted. And, the thing is, now we have words for it. Now, it's not you. Years ago, we would think, what did I do? Because it's so incongruous. It's like, where did that come from? Because it doesn't make sense. And I'm sorry for your experience. Okay, hi, Susan. Can you talk about inferiority complex? I loved my boyfriend, but left because I couldn't see the future I worked so hard for with him. Okay, that's reasonable. How do I stop regretting the breakup? I'm lonely and he moved on already. All right, here's what you do. When that thing comes back in your mind, you left no stone unturned. Good on you. You could not get him. For all of your effort, for all of your love, you couldn't drive that relationship to what you wanted to see in your future. So now the person he's with either wants less or is willing to take what he will give her. That's it. Maybe they want the same thing. Maybe they don't want much of anything. You do. Keep the design, Keep your dream. Know that you did all that you can. Don't feel guilty. And you know what? Feeling lonely can make you want the most horrible partner back. It's like when I'm trying to help my clients get over somebody and I have them duty date and I take the pressure off them and I say, look, you are not looking for a relationship. You're still licking your wounds. I just want you to get out there and practice being communicative, practice showing up. I want you to see. I want you to look for qualities that you didn't have in your last relationship. I want you to cultivate that. I want you to communicate. I want you to really open up to this person. And they'll say to me, I went on 4 rotten dates. One person showed up. They looked nothing like their picture. The other one, was so cheap. They wouldn't even let me have a diet soda. And they're like, I'm starting to want my ex back, no matter how abusive. And yes, it can go like that. But you're feeling lonely. So you're misconstruing the person with what you wanted. So don't ever confuse the person with the dream. You guys have heard me talk about this. This is a Susan philosophy, okay? The dream is your vision. The dream is your goal for what you want in a relationship. That is yours. That is your ideal. All of this dating business is testing out partners to see if they're going to be on the same page and want what you want and want it with you. And can they sustain it? That's what you're doing. So a partner fails you, you hang on to the dream, okay? You just need another person for that. You are so sweet, Santa. Absolutely love this reply. Love, 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 love from Vienna. Okay, 10.99, the euros. Mona C, you don't have anything to say to me? I guess this is just a thank you. So thank you for being part of my YouTube family. And you guys really are a family. Do you know how much I love it when I open up your commentary and I see you saying stuff and I'm like, wow, that's really good. They're really helping each other. We can help each other here. Mona, again, thank you so much. If you have something for me, put it in super chat. Okay, Polaris, that's a great one, Susan. We grieve the dream and stick a collage of the best moments to the grief wall. That's brilliant. You guys are writers too. This is wonderful. Kath Joy, do you think you can meet a partner who's authentic, honest, true on a dating site? I'm in my 50s. Yeah. You can also meet them in the supermarket looking at, I don't know, fruit, vegetables. I tell you guys about the story about my guy friend who picked up his girlfriend that he's been with now for 20 years. They've stayed engaged for 20 years. And he grabbed a bottle of hand lotion in the Duane Reade on 57th and Broadway to show her, does this work? You just grab something, just a conversation started. 2 great people. It can happen. It does happen. The thing is, it's not about them. All this stuff that we do, all these rigmaroles, all these bad dates, all this bad behavior. This is our learning curve. This is it's like the exercises. It's the boot camp for, because if that doesn't make you say, enough, I know what I want, I'm speaking up, it just drives you to that point that you just get real. You get honest. The games are so exhausting that you start to see them very quickly. Am I right? You start to cycle through the people that don't want what you want. You start to cycle through the people who say they want what you want, but they clearly don't want it with you. You cycle through everybody that's a no, 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 and then you come across interesting. Could it be true? Does it still exist? Is it a fantasy? Is it something Susan just says it's going to happen? It's never going to happen. No, it's real. And then you investigate this person, you go, wow, not only is that good, it's kind of better than I ever imagined. My dream, my design has just expanded. I never knew that I could get kind and good and sweet and generous. But you're never going to get it if you're digging a ditch that's empty. You're digging a dry well. If you're shaking that can of that person that you want to love you and they are not loving you back, you are wasting a lot of time with that. What was that arm exercise where they just do like this with a little rattle? Oh, look at it. I've toned my triceps just by shaking it. Yeah, You might as well watch what you're doing with these partners that are doing nothing with you. Leave, go on to the next, but make sure you've had your say. Nobody can correct their behavior, and you're not giving them a chance to show up if you don't let them know what it is. You got to let them know what you want and need. You at least give them a clue, because then we're going to see if they're going to be willing to work with you. Okay, Mustafa, thank you for the hearts. Ken, I love this. People think I'm smart about relationships, but it's mostly the information from Susan. I love this. Thank you so much, my dear. Anthony Miranda, $4.99. Thank you, Anthony. Hi, Susan. I'm typing a separate message outside of Super Chat because it's a little longer than what I can type here. You're the best. Anthony, if you need to, send me a message on the community page or do it here. I want to make sure that I get to you. I want to make sure I thank you for your $4.99. You guys, these, listen, this, do you realize I'm coming up close to 500 videos? That's a lot of videos, right? And I just want to remind all of you that I am never going to hustle you in the middle of commentary. There are fake Susans. They come up with my photograph and a YouTube. When you click to it, there's no product on it. There's nothing. I will never hit you with a cell number. I will never tell you to write me at Gmail. I'm not going to do that. You know how to work with me. It's in the links below. Be very careful. There are scammers, and just you're safe with me, but be careful because a lot of people are doing weird stuff on here. 200. Rohit, how are you doing again? Thank you. She broke up with that guy, came back to me, but I was hurt. Of course. Anxious, insecure. She put effort, but then retracted, stating that me being nice made her feel guilty. Is it genuine or using me to get over? I think you mean to get over him. So, Rohit, this is the second part of what we said. I'm just going to say this. Out of all the women in the world, you got this one? Out of all the women, lots and lots and lots and lots of women in the world, this one has given you nothing but problems since day one. She cheated on you. She wants to come back. She's feeling insecure. I told you initially when I didn't know the backstory to show her appreciation. Why her? Why? Unanswered questions, unfinished business, prettiest girl you've ever seen? Tell me something I understand. It is completely logical, and I don't begrudge a man that says it, but when the guy says to me, she's this, and this, and I say, how good looking is she? And they say, oh my God. I'm like, okay, I get it. Women too. He's hot. I know. Great in bed. I know. We can all get stuck. But sometimes we have to back up and say, really? Imagine this were an investment, okay? And you're trying to show somebody your portfolio. How are you going to explain this investment? This has been a 4-year odyssey. I seem to have lost money over and over and over again, and now I'm just flatlining, and I don't know what to do. Do I put more in? Do I not? You need to come to the point of honest communication with this person, and you need to have some very strong, you are now in control for the first time. She wants you back. I don't know. She cheated on you. She went to some guy. He must have dumped her now, whatever. You're now in the power position. You get to set the rules of engagement. Everybody, you got a term of service, right? Terms of service. We sign off on this every day of our lives. I give my life away. I give my data away. You own everything, every likeness. Sure, I can be on your site to get this free information. Terms of service, honesty, terms of service. You're going to communicate with me. Terms of service. If you get scared, you're going to tell me what you want and need. Terms of service. We're going to work this out or not, and give yourself a time frame to see if she fulfills that. Okay? That's important stuff. All right, let me see if I know this. And thank you again for the 200. Okay, my darling. All right, let's see. Billy. Susan, what to do when I'm scared of love because of old relationships which led me to spiral to self-hate. Now I understand, hang on, what was the deal, but now seem to be afraid of loving someone. Okay. This is going to be a little more complicated than something I can do in a matter of minutes. But generally speaking, what we experience in a relationship is ourselves coming to the surface. And you discovered at the end of a relationship that obviously didn't work out or didn't work out well, you discovered self-hate, as you're saying. That's a very strong word. Perhaps you let yourself down. Perhaps you had boundaries you wanted to establish, and for the security of love or for the want of love or to not be alone, you let down those boundaries and you feel badly about yourself because you didn't vote for yourself. You didn't take care of yourself. So we work as best we can to try to not be mute in relationships. That's step number one. A very good thing for you to do is to ask yourself some simple questions as you go along in your day, not just in your romantic relationships. What do I want? What do I need? What do I want? What do I need? Now, for those of us who, like myself, have been perpetually trained out of that, I had to be trained out of that as a child. My asking was incredibly inconvenient for those around me. I wasn't allowed anger. I wasn't allowed protest. So learning how to speak up, learning how to know that we have human rights within a relationship is the first part of self-love. So first, you start to find out, I want you for the next month to every single day of your life, commit to what do I want, what do I need? It can be as simple as I'm tired. I need a moment to just stare at the sky. I need to sleep. I'm hungry. I don't feel safe. I need to be somewhere where I get love. I need to call my parents. I need to pet a dog. I need to talk to a friend that's going to make me feel good. So start with that, and the ability to love somebody else will come much more naturally and much more easily for you. I hope this helps. I love these questions, you guys. These are not so easy. They're great. Let's see. Okay, Sana. Sana says, can you please talk about catching feelings for a friend, but due to unsolvable circumstances like different life goals, you can't have a relationship but still have deep feelings and connection? Yeah, that, so people talk about soulmates. And my philosophy is that everyone here is a soulmate. Everyone. It's just who do we want to pay attention to and who do we want to acknowledge? So we oftentimes, I feel, confuse where to put, or I should say, how to categorize our emotions and our connection to somebody. So most humans, when they feel a deep connection, a mental resonance, a visual like of the person, something about them, we tend to automatically throw it into the romantic pile. Automatically. But we need to think a little bit more evolved. And that's why this station and my work is actually dedicated to evolving relationships. That means people, humans who are evolving within themselves as they have relationships in the world. It is perfectly normal and natural to be able to appreciate somebody's beauty, intelligence, warmth, and they're not going in the same direction. They may be with another person. They may want another lifestyle. They're not with you, and that's okay. And you let it be a warm friendship with boundaries around it that allow them to be who they are, and you don't mess with business where you know that your lifestyles are different and it's not going to happen, that it's not going to be a reality for the two of you. And you acknowledge the terms of friendship, which are that there are boundaries between us. And that Nika is back. Thank you, Johnny. Yes, Nika is back. She's back early today. Thank you. You can just leave it right there. Yes, Nika has to go out. So Nika has her boundaries too, right? Your boundaries. And I know what she needs. The love language for this dog is play. That's her love language. She absolutely loves that. Play is I pet her all the time, but she wants to play. So let's understand that our participation in somebody's life is, if we're looking at a grand scale, it's a lot bigger, right? So I would ask you that if you, I mean, I've had this happen to me so many times in my life, but that's me. I don't take everything romantically just because it's thrown in front of me and I don't do it. I oftentimes think, what is my best participation in this person's life? How can I show up in a way that's best for them and best for me? And mostly I ask myself, what can I do consistently? Because I could get involved in something, but if it's not a long-term thing, why would I hurt them? Why would I do what I know I am going to end up doing anyway? I think that's harmful. So that's just another way to look at it. I hope that works for you. $20 US. My darling, thank you so much. Bojo Purvis, thank you, my darling. Okay, Bojo says, he says he loves me. We talked about marriage, wants me to move in with him. There is very little communication during the week. Like I said, weekends are amazing. Okay, so you're okay. Very good. How do I ask for more during the week without looking needy? Honey, he's asked you to move in with him, correct? I think you're doing this the wrong way. You're going to be living there. So, like, what more of his time could you get? Am I seeing this wrong? I mean, I'd love to ask you what he does for a living. Is he in a profession where he's like, I mean, like, does he work at Goldman Sachs and he does 100-hour weeks easily? I mean, what's going on here? The man isn't giving you Monday through Friday, but he's giving you, move in with me. I think this is beautiful. That's a problem? That's an upgrade. That's an upgrade. That's the opposite of backpedaling. That's cycling. That's the Tour de France. Okay? So try it. If you feel it's safe, try it. You may want to consider a relationship contract. You may want to consider having something set up. If something goes south, don't give up your only apartment. Make sure that you've talked about, we're doing this in good faith. If something happens and we don't get along, but I wouldn't fight for a Wednesday night if I get Monday through Friday as well. I think you're in a pretty good situation. Just saying. That's great. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity. Let's see. What do we have here? Anthony. Hi. Okay, this is the second time. Hi, Anthony. I'm dating a woman who only seems to reach out when I text and call. Yeah, she's playing the girl role. You guys don't remember what that is. I do. She is interested, but I'm not sure why she does not initiate. How old are you? I nearly lost a boyfriend because he expected me to chase him after sex. I think if I have sex with you, it's a pretty clear green light. Because I don't do this casually. That is VIP area. That's the red rope. You are lucky if you ever get in there, okay? Because I don't do it casually. So he, by contrast with the other women that he knew, who would call him and text him and call him, and what are you doing? And when can I see you? I was playing girl role because that's what I'd learned. If she's a lady and she has learned this from her environment, she's expecting you to act as the guy. Now, I understand that most men under 40 have been conditioned to allow the woman to pursue. And this isn't just about equality. This is a lot of the pickup artists in the game and the guys that are coaching you to make her chase you. Because what they're dealing with are very terrified men that don't know how to approach and have low self-esteem and really horrific, if null. No social skills whatsoever. So when you have a crop of young men that don't know how to speak in general, can't speak to a woman. So what is it that Raj Koothrappali on Big Bang Theory? This is like what that training is for. So this, I think, is what the girl is doing. So if every time you contact her, she's happy and receptive and wants to see you, you can do two things. Continue to contact her and do it more frequently and understand she's playing the girl role. So she's a little conservative and a little traditional. Tell her, don't ask her, tell her, by the way, I like it when you reach out to me. It's a two-way street. So I want you to text me when you want to. I'd like you to call me when you feel like it. And I'd like you to tell me if you'd like to see me. That is good for me. It's two people, okay? You educate her as to the modern way, all right? Thank you for this. I do appreciate that, Anthony. Okay, so here we have, okay, Bojo. Oh my God, thank you again. The second time. Okay, $20. He says he loves me. We've talked about marriage, wants me to move in with him. There's very little communication during the week. Like I said, weekends are amazing. Am I reading this again? I'm reading this again, so I'm sorry, but that's really good. Marriage is so much better than fighting for a Wednesday date. Okay, so girl, you got a lot that's good going on here. If I've missed anybody in your super chat, because for whatever reason, so many of these come in right at the hour and they start flying in, boom, 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 boom. And so if I don't answer it in real time here, it'll go up on the page when it goes live for the replay. Now, I gotta say this about the adverts. Here's the deal. If you guys are smart, the first couple hours after this, there are no adverts. It takes a while for them to kick in. Don't be mad at me. I set them to automatic. Automatic means they probably put them in every 3 minutes. It takes about 6 or 8 hours for that to come alive. So there's a time period after I do this where there are going to be a lot of adverts. I have to manually go back on and override that and cut it down to like 5 or 6 adverts. That's it. So there are times I've gotten busy. Something has happened. I've gone somewhere and I forgot about it. And then they're like, oh my God, Susan, there's one every 3 minutes. And I know. I'm not so smart like I know where to cut them. So I let Google do their best placement. But if you happen to catch it at the wrong time, you're going to catch a ton of adverts. If you come earlier or you come later, you won't. And I just realized that this is just for you who are watching now. So if you watch in the future, you'll know what's going on, okay? So let me see. This is very good. All right. Oh, Mona C, €5. Thank you, darling. Hi, Susan. Just wanted to say again that you're wonderful. Thank you for your insight, advice, and the session on Sunday. Love from Vienna. Mona, great. This is fabulous. I'm so excited about this. You guys, you can work with me on Magnifi. You can work with me on individual sessions. I realize I don't offer very many. And I realize that sometimes my time frames aren't as good as they could be as I shift between the Pacific time and East Coast time. So I am working on that. I've not been able to do the in-person because of COVID. And I just wasn't comfortable. You know, 4 hours talking through a mask is kind of ridiculous, right? So I might do some different things, but I want you to know that I'm always interested in working with you, and you know, we can communicate if there's a time you really want. I'm going to try some different times because I have so many foreign clients. I want to make morning times, afternoon, and evening times. Okay, thank you so much. I think I just got another super chat here. Where is this? Anthony, let's see, Anthony got up with this. Okay, let's see. I think I just saw another super chat. I might have missed it. Kisses from Italy. Thank you. Zen Maiden, love the fact that you're taking over and talking to other people. Amanda, regarding the adverts, I was told that if you fast forward to the end of the session and then go back to the beginning, you won't see the adverts. Just saying. Not sure if it works, but it's worth a try. But actually, I have to be honest with you guys. It is kind of nice to make a little money doing this because I didn't charge for the first 15 years, 10 years. I just did everything for free. I sat for hours and hours and hours just counseling for free. And so you get tired. And it gets to be, you know, these are hours of your life that every Sunday you're shooting a video. Maybe you'd like to play golf. Maybe you'd like to do something else. So I am grateful for the income, and I am grateful to Google and to YouTube. And I waited till I had 100,000 subscribers because I thought before that it's kind of cheap to put you through that. But the more I do with this, the more it allows me to expand into other areas that are a little more sophisticated to serve all of you. Let's see. Okay, so you guys are having great conversations. Now, I want to tell you what's happening next week. I didn't want people to think that everything is negative, but I did want to cover all this bad behavior. So next week, we are going into the same kind of discussion, but it's going to be on your issues for love. So I want you to tell me what you want to talk about. It's going to be love advice. Oh boy. Kath Joy, $10. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Kath Joy. I thank you. This was not a message. This was a straight up thank you in Super Chat. Thank you. I adore you, all of you. So Kath, thanks. So the next week when we meet, it's going to be on situationships. And I want you to think about what you want to talk about. And I want you to present your information to me, and we'll go through it. Because it's not that it's a bad thing, but it might not be your thing. So in the evolution of how we are doing relationships, the only thing that's important is that you know what you want at any given time. Now remember, oftentimes people get into something small and they think, I can't do a relationship. I'm not ready. I just ended a marriage. I just broke up with somebody. I'm starting school. I'm starting a new job. So I'll just have this little fling. And we always fool ourselves and think we can do this really well, right? And what happens is we end up finding that we kind of have feelings. We catch feelings for somebody because if we're integrated and we're evolving, we show up. And then suddenly we're in this like, wow, it can't really go. And how do I make it go? And so these are the kinds of things we're going to talk about. How do you take a limited design and expand it? What do you do in those in-between time periods? So we're going to be talking about your relationship questions. I'm not saying that they're bad, but always understand you will always have the tendency to want more. It's human. It's human nature. So if you think you're starting something that's going to just be a booty call, it might just be a booty call, but it could end up that by repeated exposure to this person, you end up wanting more. And you don't know how to make that happen. So within a relationship, even when we land upon an agreement and a relationship with somebody, we will probably want to change it on the fly. That's what an evolving modern relationship is. They are not static. You guys are not cookie cutters. You can't love in a cookie cutter manner. So I'm really excited. A couple months from now, I have been asked to present for the U.S. the International Mental Health Festival. And you guys, I'm not a therapist. You know that. I'm not a clinician. I was an opera singer. Then I was in financial news. Then I was a fantasy action figure. I mean, like, you can't get a wider range than that. But I'll be presenting Love a la carte, which is my version of how I want to assist you as you try on these different love models that you are actively designing. Start with the basics. If you don't know what you want, you start with, okay, let's do a committed relationship. Or, okay, I just want a sexual relationship. But even within that, you get to have quality. And this is what I want you guys to have. I want you to have quality and depth and reward and meaning in whatever you choose to do, at whatever point in time you choose to do it. Because that way, you're going to get something out of it. Even limited designs. You walk into something you think, never going to happen, never going to get what I want. Some of the stuff you're hearing today, the greatest learnings were from limited design. Would I want that again? No. But sometimes the things that drive you forward are these things. So let's make the most out of every interaction we have. If we can find the way to pull the gem out of the experience, I promise you, you will never feel cheated, abused, abandoned, like, oh my God, it's so horrible out there. Our job is to find the benefit. Learn, reassess, amend, improvise, speak up, ask ourselves what we want, say what we need, get really adept at doing this thing. And remember, you can make it what you want. So let me see. I'm going to read some of these things. Kath Joy, the $10. Thank you so much, my darling. Rohit. Used me to get over me. Okay, because we broke up again, and now she wants no guilt while talking to me. First relationship for both of us. We were head over heels initially. I suggested a trip in January to revive our dynamics. I I don't like this person for you. I'm sorry. I strongly suggest that you contact me for an individual session or on Magnifi, because this back and forth, I can help you, but I can't help you as well as if I'm really going through this piece by piece. Sometimes things are so fractured that we can't put them back together again. So I have all this fantastic, I have one of the original designs of English Rose of Haviland. Like fabulous. We're talking great, 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 great grandmother. Many of the dishes are cracked. And if you glue them back together again, they don't have any value. If you have a relationship that is so cracked and so broken and so much, sometimes you just have to look at it and say, really? Is this what I'm trying to salvage? You sound rather nostalgic over what it was in the beginning, heartsick over the first love. And that first love was pure until she cheated on you, if I understand this correctly. And I do want to help you, and I'm not making fun of you. I want you to know I'm on your side. But it looks like a bit of a mess. And sometimes, it's like any of you people that own a home or a car. You put money in, you put money in, you put money in. At some point, you realize that no matter what you put into this, it's kind of a money pit and it's not working. And you're not getting your reward out of it. If you can tell me that for all this chaos and drama, that you are feeling closer and seeing a better future of what you want to experience, then I'm going to say go for it. Otherwise, I don't know. I have to be honest with you, okay? Rohit, that's what I feel right now. Bojo, thank you, Susan. I've followed you for a few years about this man. Okay, he was a hot and cold one that I ended over a year ago, and now it's back on, and it is totally love. Wow. Zen Maiden 1, did you hear that? Another one like you. You know what's so cool? I know the people that get better that I work with because I work with them. So many of you are getting what you want, and you're in this huge audience of 160,000 subscribers. And I love it when you tell me that this stuff is working. This honesty and knowing yourself stuff is pretty good, right? Congratulations, my darling. I'm getting excited for you. My goodness, I'm so excited. And thank you for the $10 contribution. I'm so, so excited. Let me see if I can do all. I want to make sure I got everybody here. Rohit, think seriously about talking to me. I really, I don't want you fretting and tossing and turning over something that's got a million chips and cracks in it. I'm not saying it's not a good person. I'm just saying they're terribly confused. And now they're confusing you. And, I'd rather maybe you start with some clarity and start with somebody that's got a better skill set. Okay? You guys, I think we have come to an hour and a little bit more. Nika is back and lying down. She's kind of my timer for this. Okay, one more. Sana, 100. Thank you, my darling. Thank you so much, ma'am. You're the best. No, you guys are the best. I would be chatting to myself like a lunatic if you weren't all on here. Thank you for your stories of success. Thank you for letting me know that you're gaining clarity, that you're gaining self-esteem. Remember, we got to trust ourselves. It's about trusting ourselves to be resilient, to know ourselves, to speak up for ourselves, to do this dance. It's not about trusting them. It's about trusting that we can handle wherever we land, okay? I want you guys to become like Cirque du Soleil of love. You're going to just like twist and turn and jump up and down. And I thank you, thank you, thank you. So next week, situationships. What do you think about them? Have you been in one? Do you have a situationship you want to talk about? Do you want to drive it further into something real? So next week is the beginning of love advice. And I adore all of you. Thank you for being my subscribers and part of my YouTube family. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. If you haven't turned on the notifications, please do. I love all of you, and I'm so grateful that you are here and that we're part of the same tribe. Thank you very much. Amanda, Ben, fantastic. Susan, you're always so sincere. Thank you. All right, everyone, have a fabulous week. If I missed you for some reason or other, if I missed anything you've done, anything you've said here, I will capture it when it goes onto the channel. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week. Bye-bye.